did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby, they don't want you to see, but everybody's out to Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and plan to getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me, I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah,
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
X-ray season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that, hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I hate
for
these
us.
average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average shit. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on to the hearse. Party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Grand Rising, everybody out there. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I am your co-host, Trey Holiday, and excited as always to be with all of you all today. Always excited to be doing this in partnership with my co-host with the most, Big O. What's up, Big O?
How are you? Oh, they're playing with the mics.
Okay, there we go. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm all right. I'm all right. And in a very comfortable, calming environment here.
Yeah. Home
I see we're matching.
Nice. Yeah, I know. Look at that. Who knew?
No, yeah, got my big joint on today. You know what I'm saying? So, I think this is the longest I've gone without wearing something Converge in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. You stay dripped in Converge gear. So good to see Biggie on your chest today.
You already know. All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Update Show. And right now is a perfect opportunity for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people who you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and also KBCS 91.3. That's over at Bellevue College. Also want to remind everybody that you can listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. They got SoundCloud right there in the links, but you can also go to Google, to Spotify, to iTunes, something anywhere else. This is also a time in the show we want to remind everybody that the COVID-19 vaccine is readily available throughout King County. Got a link that we're putting in the comments. If you want to get vaccinated, you can click that link. You can find a location that's near you. The vaccine is free. So I want to remind everybody, the vaccine is free. And in some cases, they can bring the vaccine right there to your home. There we are. All right, Trey. So made it down here to our quote of the day. Let me go ahead and put this one up here. So the only true disability in life is a bad attitude. And that's from Blake Leeper. I have a real inspirational story with him. And, I kind of like that one. I'm feeling that right now. The only disability in life is a bad attitude.
Yeah, you know what? I agree 100%. And if people only understood how negative emotions actually affect their productivity, they may think twice about responding in kind. So I agree with him, because they do create disabilities in our lives. But you know what doesn't is a great smile. There's so many different statistics and data that showcase what it means when you smile and how that affects your body and how that affects your mental state. So I agree with this quote 100%.
All right, good stuff. Let me see here. I got you, Curtis. Don't worry, brother. I got you over here. Let's see. We've got a guest, somebody that you're real close with and know a lot about. This is Tara DuBois from Complete Driving Experience. We're going to be bringing on Tara later on in the show. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about Tara, though.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so excited. I mean, this is somebody that I've been able to see in community for a very long time, and staying super consistent with, connection. I'm almost every event that is vendor driven, you see dope food and smoothies there. You see their presence, and Tara has been doing amazing work in community. Excited to have her here today to talk about a new business venture that they have just opened up. And so as we think about Black business, I'm so glad that she's here to express some of the greatness happening with her and her business.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so we got a few headlines today. I'm keeping it short to make space for this interview. But, yesterday, people in California, they went to the polls to see if they're going to recall Governor Newsom down there. And man, in big fashion, I think it's like 68% to like 32%, they decided to let the governor keep his job. And so he's going to keep his job out there. Early on, a lot of people were thinking that they might be able to actually do something with this recall. But I mean, it's a heavily Democratic state. And, some of the options that were there on the Republican side of the ticket, especially Larry Elder, people weren't really feeling that. And Newsom is taking it kind of as a mandate. He's like, yeah, not only did I keep my job, but clearly the people of California agree with, his approach around COVID and some of everything else. So he's getting to keep his house there. He's going to continue to stay in the governor's mansion in California.
Well, this is really interesting news, because we keep talking about how the vaccine and COVID in general is really creating these huge divides. Not that our country needs any more divides, but it's very clear here when we talk about how people are resonating with the approaches around the vaccine. And ultimately, there is a real strong line drawn in between the sand when it comes to people's perspectives on this. You got a lot of folks who are like, look, you can't tell us what to do. We don't want to be pushed around. You got others who are like, we need to be careful, be respecting, health and wealth for everyone. It's really caused so many different things. It's interesting to see that California went this far because they were talking about his approach with the vaccine and with COVID-19. And to be honest, I think it's one mixed bag when we talk about how this stuff is really permeating our society.
Well, it was a lot of people, though. I'll be honest with you. He locked the whole state down, and then he was caught having dinner at that restaurant called the French Laundry. And that's really what set a lot of people off, like, oh, word? You telling us to be locked down and you out there eating good and some of everything else. So, I mean, he did do some things to antagonize the general public there, but clearly the voters of California are aligned behind him. And now, like, he's taking it as, like I said, a mandate. He's like, yo, people have spoken. So back to local here, back to the 37th district, to our home district. And this is out of the South Seattle Emerald. Emerald staff, the 37th district Democrats endorsed Thomas Kennedy for city attorney. No mayoral endorsements at this time. 37th is always pretty interesting because although it's the 37th Democrats, you get a lot of endorsements out of the 37 Democrats that aren't necessarily Democrats, but they endorse Thomas Kennedy, and no endorsement from mayor.
Ah, well, here we go. I mean, we're seeing things kick up when we think about these endorsements coming up for the general election here. And honestly, you know, I think that we're going to see more and more of these roll out as we get closer and closer to that general election date.
Yeah. Well, like I said, 37. We'll see who everybody else is endorsing here. It's interesting, too. You can read more about it in the article. Is that no endorsement for mayor out of the 37 Democrats. So we'll see how it plays out there. Some interesting news here. This is right up your alley, Trey Holiday. This is from the Capitol Hill Seattle blog, our buddy Justin Carter. Africatown, culturally responsive community home shelter set to open in the Central District. Now, I usually do a lead in on all these stories, but man, you're part of ACLT. Tell us all about it.
Well, this is really interesting and so exciting for community as we think about really filling a void that we see out there in our unhoused community. And Africatown Community Land Trust did halt a for-profit development on the Keiro site. That was last year, and since then have really been working diligently on the ground to impact the houseless community by having specific shelter really geared towards males and identifying males out here, and really being intentional about our Black men that are out there that are unhoused right now. And, you know, for those of you who have been able to tour the site, I know there's probably going to be more tours coming up, but, you know, you see it as a huge, amazing facility. And when we think about all of the things that are embedded in the space, you have, you know, a commercial kitchen, you have a cosmetic studio in there, you have a daycare, a little teen center. So there's a lot of different things that can be done in this space. And when we think about bringing in the right partners from ACLT's perspective, it's been very intentional how they're building. They're learning from so many different experts who have been on the ground in the unhoused community. They're bringing in unhoused voices to be a part of building this. They're also really intentional about, hey, this space was once used to house our Japanese seniors and those of our brothers and sisters from the Asian community. And we're on Duwamish land. So there's a whole host of ways that they're being responsive to the cultures that have really called this space home by bringing them in, you know, facilitating work groups and think tanks and bringing folks in to actually just do public comment, community groups and community meetings so that they can hear from some of the people that have been on the ground, you know, that were originally fighting for Keiro to try to stay open when it unfortunately had to close its doors. We're now bringing those voices into this new space and into this reimagining of the space. And so I'm really excited that, you know, everything is really falling into alignment for them to be able to open and fulfill this much needed void.
And so when are you guys looking, or when's ACLT looking to actually take over the space and be able to offer shelter to the public?
It looks like there's a plan for next month. I think by the end of October, they're really hoping to be able to get all of the ducats in a row to get this kicked off.
Right. And will there be like, is it shelter? Of course, shelter is important. Will also be other services that'll be offered out of there?
Yeah, I mean, all of the research and all of the community engagement processes have indicated the need for wraparound services, right? I mean, nobody wants to put a Band-Aid on our unhoused community. And we understand that there is a direct need around wraparound services. What does that look like, and how is it successful in other spaces? They've been able to learn from, again, some of those experts that are in the unhoused community now, that are working as, you know, advocates in that space, people that have been doing it for a really long time are bringing their expertise to bear in this space. And so wraparound services are going to be necessary for sure.
Right. And I saw there in the article a mention of the city of Seattle. What role does the city of Seattle play in all this?
Well, I think that it's important when we think about partnership, right? I mean, we talk about unhoused population and the city of Seattle already having a certain way that they're going about it with their approach. So this needs to be able to be in collaboration with that. I think for me, that's what I see it as right now. I know there's probably more specifics that are happening on the ground, but I've been able to be kind of an advocate of this from, a community perspective. And I'm really happy to see it moving forward. Oh, it's great.
All right. Good stuff. Got one more thing here, especially on a lighter note. This is my refrigerator back there that keeps talking to me. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm good. I don't need anything right now. This is also from out of the South Seattle Emerald. Our buddy Mike Davis wrote this. Award-winning entrepreneur Katie Hall aims to take her business to the next level. And we'll put that link there in the comments. And man, do you know about Katie Hall?
No, this is great. Tell me more.
Oh man, Katie Hall is the business. It's Katie Hall Communications, and does a lot of PR for businesses here, and also down in Olympia. They're managing the PR for the Lewis Rudd for the Rub and some everything else. Man, award winning. Does movies, does documentaries. Like man, Katie and her husband, man, like they get down like on the real, and it's really good to see her progressing. And what they're doing now is they're opening another headquarters down in Jacksonville, Florida.
When our businesses right here locally can expand nationally, we definitely have to celebrate that. Any effort around, I'm glad Mike Davis saw a real need to, write this up so that we can be informed, because I think there's so many great things that are happening that we're not informed about. And anytime we can celebrate that level of success, I mean, we talked about it, we've been talking about it with Ezell's and how they were able to expand, but any of our businesses that are getting the recognition they deserve and getting the opportunities to expand in this regard, it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited for Katie Hall and everybody that's over there fulfilling into this effort, because it takes so many to make things like that happen. So great work, you guys. Excited to read this article and learn more.
All right, good stuff. Before we go to break, got a few birthdays here. I need to put these up. One is my big brother, the big fella. Happy birthday, Shakundi Kunlove Salisbury. And my brother was guest there on the morning update show so many times. So happy birthday to him, and also happy birthday to our very own Converge Media's own logistics specialist here. Happy birthday, Lakeith G. Prez Aspie. So two big happy birthdays to two people who definitely contribute a lot to the morning update show.
Absolutely, man. Happy birthday, bros. I mean, the great thing of it is that we're able to really have real relationships be the foundation of Converge Media. And we talk about that in terms of Black community and all the time. That is so relational. And so I'm glad that we're able to uplift these guys today on their special day. Man, a great solar return to you both. And I hope you guys enjoy it midweek. You guys have definitely earned the right to be able to celebrate yourselves and be celebrated and surrounded by love.
Yeah, and the plan was COVID kind of put the kibosh on it, but the plan was they were going to have a whole Virgo extravaganza, comedy show, DJs, roast, everything else. So I'm guessing that 2022 is going to be off the chain for them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, as usual, it's Support Black Business. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Market Street Shoes, slinging kicks since 2006, with styles that support you and yours, getting the F outside or staying comfy when you just want to lounge indoors as well. But wait, Market Street Shoes is way more than just a shoe store. Gear up for your next outdoor adventure with apparel and accessories that'll have you looking good on the streets, the trail, or even in your own backyard. With locations in Ballard, Redmond, and online at marketstreetshoes.com, there's undoubtedly a style and size that'll fit your lifestyle.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. As you can see, I'm nice and cozy here in the home studio. Trey Holiday there in the Converge Media Studio. Hey, Trey.
Hey, I'm also, nice and cozy.
Yeah, and you got all the good lighting there. I'm trying to figure it out.
There we go.
All right, everybody, it's now time for my favorite part of the show. Support Black business, powered by No Excuses. And right now we're going through the archives. These guys are out shooting new segments, and so we just thought we would spotlight some of the favorites through the archives. This next segment here, it got a lot of play and a lot of feedback because the owner in it, she was saying, the question was, why did you start your business? And she was like, yo, my boss, I told my boss I had to go pick up my kids, and the boss was like, well, if you leave to go pick up your kids, then you just gonna have to go and resign. Here it is right here, Royal Tees.
My business is Royal Tees, and I am the owner and creator. My boss said if I leave to go get my son, then she's accepting my resignation, so I left. This is it. I pop up. I'm the queen of pop-ups. I literally do like 6 pop-ups a week. Catch me on any corner around here. I'm always out. Everybody loves it. Everybody drinks out of a cup, so it works. So you don't know what you don't know until you come out to one of these businesses. You can literally find anything here. There's girls out here selling soaps. You got do-rags. It's anything you need you can find at a Black business. My human being shirt, it's my #1 shirt. It's non-controversial. You can't be mad at this. So I am on Facebook and Instagram, royaltiesrt.com. And everything is under that.
All right.
I love that.
You were out there, Trey, and actually you bumping to royalties a lot.
I really do, and actually have supported the business several times. I think, the funny thing is that she is so right, and I just loved seeing that smile and that laugh at the end there, pure Black joy. But the great thing about it is that I have seen her all the way from Tacoma, probably all the way to like Gasworks. I mean, if you're talking about vendor pop-ups, she is there, and she's really creating an opportunity for her sons to see her doing this work, but not just see her doing it. They have their own Button Bros business as well. And so the beautiful thing is that she's already building intergenerationality into her approach when she said, I have to launch this business. And what a better story to tell when you think about the barriers that, traditional work sometimes brings to our families. We are all trying to figure out ways to make it work when we have young children. And there's so many articles and statistics written about this, as people really have to have that village, right? If it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be able to do what I do every day. And I understand that necessity as a parent for you to always put your children first. And so shout out to Royal Tees, man, because she was right, man. Oh, she be everywhere.
Yeah, no, I didn't know the Button Bro. That's her kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
I also got my sons doing it, and I looked over and they had their little buttons and everything. She's like, yeah, I'm showing them. I said, what? So it's a whole story there. You got to catch them next time.
I know I've got them. I got them in our archives with Unapologetically Jason. I actually got the footage. I'm gonna go and get that footage out. Wow, man. They out there for sure. So big shout out Royal Tees. We got the link there in the comments. And onwards to Black Business Relief. All right. So today we still got whatchamacallit, and we'll have it here until the 20th, the Ezell's grant. Before I put that up though, there's a lot of information that's coming out today. There's somebody who's releasing $1 million, private sector, not government. So it's another $1 million in grants that's getting ready to hit the streets, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow as well. So real excited about that. We want to put this up here. It's the Rudge Rub, raising up Black businesses. We've got the link there in the comment. There's $2,500 grants for small businesses, no strings attached, brought to you by the good people over at Ezell's. This closes on the 20th. If you are a small business owner, or a small business owner, definitely we all know a small business owner, you want to make them aware of this opportunity. The good people at Ezell's are doing their very best to give back to community.
They really are. And again, the intentionality is what really captures me, Omari, because ultimately this is about supporting Black businesses. It's about a direct investment into Black business. And honestly, we see that there are many Black businesses to support. I got to give a huge shout out to Africatown Seattle on Instagram because they've been doing a Black business alerts. And so they're almost at 200 businesses at this point. So when people are like, I don't know if I can buy, from Black folks, or there's so many different businesses to buy from. So when I think about all the businesses that are out there that have this opportunity now to apply for RUD's Rub, this is an amazing cash injection into your business. Okay. It's a direct investment for you. Like O said, $2,500 that's there to support you. And we're going to keep on this message until the 20th, as O said, because it's important for us to always uplift these opportunities that are really coming from our community. Again, no need for the government to say anything or be a part of this. This is really an effort that Ezel said, man, we can do something and we're going to do this. We can do more. We're going to do it this way. And it's just a beautiful effort. I'm so glad that they really stepped up and are showing out for these businesses in need.
All right, good stuff. My journey with you today, Trey Holiday, ends here because we're going to go to break. And when we come back from break, we've got Tara DuBois from Complete Driving Experience. We're going to talk all about her business and what's going on. And so on that note, I will leave you and I will catch up with you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
All right. Bye. Oh, thank you so much.
All right.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Market Street Shoes, slinging kicks since 2006, with styles that support you and yours, getting the F outside or staying comfy when you just want to lounge indoors as well. But wait, Market Street Shoes is way more than just a shoe store. Gear up for your next outdoor adventure with apparel and accessories that'll have you looking good on the streets, the trail, or even in your own backyard. With locations in Ballard, Redmond, and online at marketstreetshoes.com, there's undoubtedly a style and size that'll fit your lifestyle.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I am your co-host, Trey Holiday, and joining me now is Tara DuBois of Complete Driving Experience. Thanks so much for being with us, Tara.
Thank you, Treyana. It is a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
You know what? We've been talking about this for so long. And the funny thing is that, Chats with Trey took a hiatus and I was going to have you on there. And then I said, you know what? Wait a minute. We actually are really spotlighting Black business. And so you coming onto the Morning Update Show is very fitting, as we just had our segment there about RUD's Rub. Let me just hear some of your perspective on this direct investment before we dive into you and your business.
Well, thank you for that opportunity because we have already applied for that. I received your email about that, so we jumped right on it and applied. So that's a wonderful opportunity. We're going to use that opportunity to actually purchase a new vehicle for our school. Our school needs 2 vehicles in case one is down. We need to have another one to put right into work. So That would be a wonderful opportunity for our business. And I was actually wondering, are you able to apply for more than one business? So we applied for the driving school, but was wondering if we could go back and apply for the other business.
It looks like we're having a technical issue right quick. We're going to go into a quick break and so we can fix it. We'll be right back.
Market Street Shoes, slinging kicks since 2006 with styles that support you and yours, getting the F outside or staying comfy when you just want to lounge indoors as well. But wait, Market Street Shoes is way more than just a shoe store. Gear up for your next outdoor adventure with apparel and accessories that'll have you looking good on the streets, the trail, or even in your own backyard. With locations in Ballard, Redmond, and online at marketstreetshoes.com, there's undoubtedly a style and size that'll fit your lifestyle.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. Our team is on it, correcting these audio issues over here. Thank you guys again for joining us. And as I said, joining me right now on set is Tara DuBois of the Complete Driving Experience. Again, Tara, I mean, we were just talking about, Rudd's Rub and how you saw as a Black business owner that this is something that would be beneficial to your business. Just make sure the audience hears some of the things that you were just talking about in terms of your perspective of this amazing effort that Ezell's and their team is doing over there.
Oh, I think it's really a great opportunity. Thank you for asking that question, Treyana. I grew up in the Central District. I grew up eating Ezell's chicken and the French fries. So when I saw this opportunity, I jumped on it right away. We already applied for that grant, and we are really crossing our fingers and hoping that we get chosen. We would like to put that grant towards purchasing a new vehicle for our business so that we have one on standby.
You know what? And that leads me right into it, because I know you for another business, which we'll get into, but you're here because you guys now have opened a Black-owned driving school. Oh my gosh, Complete Driving Experience, right?
Yes.
Please tell us all about this new school.
Oh, it's been a long journey. I sidestepped from doing caregiving and teaching caregiving classes. I jumped into doing driving, instructing driving school. I did that for a few years for a few different companies. I saw where there was a need, where there was a loophole, where there was no Black-owned driving schools. There was nobody that was tending to our community. We named it Complete Driving Experience because we want to also help individuals that have just been released from prison, help them on their journey back to licensure, individuals that are coming back from being handicapped, helping your elderly be reevaluated. We just wanted to be able to offer the complete package of what a driving school should encompass and what a driving school should offer to their community.
It's a beautiful thing when we talk about, Black businesses a lot of the time being so resilient, because, there's so many different unique stories out there that say we saw a need and we stepped up to fulfill the need. And through your own experience at other driving schools, you saw that there was no real care being embedded into this. How are you guys, embedding not just care, but this relational approach we talk about in the Black community all the time in your driving school?
We are building partnerships with community entities, community organizations that work with lower income, community organizations that work with individuals that could benefit from a voucher if their family cannot afford it. We deal with a lot of teens where their parents don't even have a car. And we want to make driving school something attainable for low-income families. So I am just working with the school districts, the schools, the community entities, Goodwill, Union Gospel Mission, Tacoma and Seattle Urban League to try and create that voucher program so that if an individual can't afford a certain aspect of the license process, then you should be able to go somewhere in your community and get that help.
You know what? You're speaking my language right now. My son is 15. He'll be 16 at the end of the year. And, he was, oh, Ma, driving school. And a lot of his buddies did it during the pandemic and like the height of COVID. So they did it at a good time. But I remember when I was growing up, we had the opportunity to do driving classes at Garfield. And
Yes.
It was like, if you got free or reduced lunch or something there, we paid like $50
Yes,
or something.
I did too.
Yeah. And now it's like almost $600.
Yes. And it's really ridiculous. It's astronomical. After doing my research all the way from Spanaway is charging almost $800 a month. I mean, for their teen driving course. It is really not that expensive to take a teen through that process. And so I really think, they are taking advantage. They're taking advantage of the fact that they know these teens have to go through this process. So what we have also done is for the high schools that are immediately in our area, because we're in Hilltop, Tacoma, we are offering a scholarship to each high school, one scholarship to each high school each year. So that we can work with the social workers and find out who is in the greatest need of a driving school scholarship and who is deserving of that scholarship as well. So
I just love your approach, Tara. I got to say, because, when you think about something, I mean, we've been really highlighting Black businesses in our Black business segment. And the truth of the matter is that we do it all. We're creating light bulbs. We create trash bags. Are doing all the mundane things. And when you think about a driving school, to say that you guys, you realize there was no Black-owned driving school. I mean, when you first told me that, I was like, really?
I know of one, and that's one of the ones. It's African-owned, and it's in Burien Driving Academy.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's the only one I know of. So I'll be the second.
Wow. And really, this is just a kudos to you and your innovation in realizing that it was necessary, because you also have been out here on the grind as a vendor. I've seen you so many times, all of these amazing community events. You've been, King County, Pierce County, Stonebridge, you
That's
name
right.
it. You've been there as Dope Food and Smoothies.
Dope Food and Smoothies.
Yeah, so you guys took something that you were doing at home. Again, you were telling me about how you guys were already creating these amazing smoothies at home, right? And thinking about it from a health perspective. And so tell us a little bit about Dope Food and Smoothies, because you're a serial entrepreneur.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you know what? I was just telling Royalties that I needed that on a t-shirt. Serial entrepreneur, girl.
Yes.
But Dope Food and Smoothies grew out of an idea from me and my kids, and they were just saying, gosh, our stuff tastes better than Emerald City Smoothies. And that's when I got the idea, of course. But we opened Dope Food and Smoothies at the end of the summer of 2019. And our first event was Emoja 2019. We were not expecting the success that came with that 3-day event. We had a line for 3 days straight. I didn't use the bathroom even one of those days because we were just so slammed and so busy. So it was a great welcoming from the community. We actually also were approached from the individuals that were doing the new neighborhood projects and developments. And they said that they were looking for a smoothie company to be in one of the new developments. So we're still in the works of seeing where we might fit in with that.
This is such a success story, Tara. I mean, you talk about, understanding divine timing. That's what just struck me as you talked about the beginnings of Dope Food and Smoothies, because the truth of the matter is I witnessed that line. I stood in that line.
Did.
I made sure
I supported that line.
I supported the business. And from day one, we've been talking about how impactful it's been for your family. And I want to make sure the audience understands when we talk about Black business, y'all, we're really talking about how people are able to inject a whole new way of life for themselves and their families to replace, certain incomes that maybe had you going to a place where you knew you wasn't welcome, you wasn't, much appreciated. So there's so many amazing benefits when you say, I'm going to do something. I'm going to, just take this leap of faith and really jump out on this idea I have and make something of it. How has that been for you as your business has progressed?
Well, I really recognize with the comment that Royalties Raina Arms made in her video clip there about not being supported by your employer. So we give our all to our employees. We give them 100% so that we can show our dedication and how much we really want to be there and grow with the company. But we rarely ever get that back from an employer. And so that's what I was continuing to see over and over and over again. I have a college degree. I've got several certifications. I'm a certified nursing assistant. And I just felt like I wasn't getting the 100% back that I was giving to employers. And I just don't feel like that's fair in any situation. So that's when I decided to take it into my own hands. In 2014, I opened my first business, which was Butterflies RS Mobile Training. And that is to train caregivers and go to them where they are in their environment. Because what I was finding was that the caregivers were having a hard time getting the training done because they couldn't leave their clients. They couldn't find the time or make the time to go to a training class. So we've got a fire truck outside.
Every day.
Yes. So I once again saw the need for a training in that area for caregivers where they needed somebody that could come to them.
It's just constantly seeing needs and then filling those needs. And I think that when we think about, talking about the backbone of this country, not just, free labor and all of that, that we had to deal with then, but businesses, small businesses being the grounding for so many of us. And you just talked about, again, seeing a void and filling the need. But this is really, for me, it's so inspirational because I'm always saying every day, see yourself as part of the solution.
That's
see
right.
yourself as, and you've done that time and time again. This also has some effects on your children when they're able to see their mother, stepping out and doing things that are outside of the box, that are saying, you know what, this can be done. No, we can do this.
Right.
How do they respond to all these businesses you've been able to create?
Oh gosh, my kids think I'm super mom, and I try not to let them, give me that title because I'm not super. I just want to show my three daughters and our son that anything is possible. Anything is possible when you put your mind to it. And whatever your dream, whatever your vision is, it can be achieved. Nobody can tell you that you cannot be who you want to be or do what you want to do. A lot of people, most of the time, I think, are just scared of the hard work and the journey that it's going to take to get there. Mm-hmm. But I had a family member light a fire under my butt after COVID. And they were just like, if you don't get this driving school going, nobody is going to. Yeah. And so we really wanted to create this driving school also to help us grow our other businesses. So one business will support the others. So we have our food trailer that is an empty shell on the inside right now. And we are on a journey to next spring to get that fully modified so that we can pull up at the first event of 2022 and just open up our window and serve from our trailer. So,
you know what? Constant elevation. I love it. And evolution. Like
yes.
it's all of it all in one, because the intentionality of, taking it step by step and understanding a business also too is really key to all of this. I want to get into some of the specifics about your driving school because, there may be some families out there that are really looking to support and also need the service. What are the fees? How you talked about some of the scholarships. How does it look for a family who says, you know what, we can't afford it. We want to be able to come and support this driving school and send our kids there.
Okay. So right now we're doing a back to school special. It is $450. You can make a $225 down payment and then make payments on the rest. The rest has to be paid by the third week of the third week of class, the balance. We also do the DOL services. So you can come to our school and do a skills exam and a knowledge exam. The knowledge exam is $25 per attempt, and the skills exam is $60 to take the exam in our vehicle. We also offer adult driving lessons at $65 an hour. And all of this can be found on our website, CompleteDrivingEXP.com. You can schedule and pay for services directly on the website.
Well, this is really great to start diving in here. And I'm telling you, you're really speaking my language right now, because just this week, my son was like, Mom, are you going to enroll me? I'm like, all right. It was like $550. And so that is a great deal, number one. And also, a lot of these driving schools get backed up. I mean, you got a lot of kids that are trying to get that permit, trying to get their driver's license. How do you guys deal with because they were like, oh, we only have this date or we have that date. For you guys, is it just auto enroll? How does that work?
So right now, because we're new, we are not backed up yet, but we plan to be. So right now, I am booked out about 2 weeks. I am the only driving instructor, so it's all reliant on my schedule and my time, but I have opened up weekends and weekdays. I'm open until late in the evenings. I open early in the mornings, around 8. So it really all depends on what the person is looking for. We can usually assist and help anyone in their journey to their driver's license.
This is exciting. This is so exciting for me as a mom of a 15-year-old, because, I've been taking him out, trying to get him a little bit used to the roads. And, that's part of it. Yes. I feel like, because my dad did that for me, taught me how to drive a stick shift, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And that was so helpful for me. And really, again, it was embedded in my high school experience. And so it didn't feel like I had to go do something extra.
Correct.
It was already just a part of me being at school. And, I just got to go to the portable to get this class. Like, that was a part of it. But now, as parents, we have to be more intentional about how we're enrolling our kids, because of the way that they've done the system at this point. And I know with COVID, some of these driving schools right now are doing a lot of online classes. So
is that something?
Is that something that you guys also offer?
Yes, we offer the Zoom option. So, and I really wanted to offer that to our Seattle family, because we are not in Seattle. So for those of you that do want to enroll your students and you live here in the Seattle area, you can enroll your student. They can do the Zoom option, and then you can just bring them into our location for their 5 behind the wheel drives that are required for their package. So we can work with each parent on their availability to make that work for them. But I also wanted to give a shout out to Tacoma Urban League. They have really worked with us and continue to work with us to help make our business stronger and to make it what it needs to be. I really want to urge other small business owners out there who maybe haven't set your business up the right way to stop and take the time to get your business plan done, to make sure you have a business bank account, to really just go through that checklist of making sure your business is solid and there are no loopholes. That's really been an important process for us, that we didn't set our first 2 businesses up the right way. And we just opened a business and we just got out there and started working and, started doing things. And then we started, getting things in order. So with this 3rd business, we really wanted to make sure that from the beginning, things were done the right way.
Yeah.
So that's something that our community really needs assistance and support and guidance on. And there are lots of places for us to get that.
Yeah, I had a business back in the day, a janitorial business. And I remember there was so many different resources through the Small Business Administration. But then there was, I see now in community, there's a real open door where it's like, hey, you got places like Black Dot with Mastermind Mondays that are like, hey, we're just going to learn from each other. We're going to talk about tips and tricks and make sure that people are really gaining experience based on other people's experiences, because that's necessary.
Those sessions also have been very, very valuable. Even when you cannot make a Mastermind Monday, Curtis will still send you all of the resources that were available in that Zoom. So that's really fabulous for somebody who works a lot of hours, and I can't always get logged into my Mastermind Mondays. But when I do get logged in, he always gives a shout out. It's like, I haven't seen you in a minute. So it's really, really awesome that those are available to us on a regular basis.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is really different too, because yes, And shout out to the SBA for all the resources that they have. But it's not always a relational approach. And you're talking about my brother, Curtis Calhoun. Shout out to you, Curtis, one of the realest ones I know.
He is.
So consistent in his care for our businesses and for our community. And that is something that goes, it's like taking it above and beyond. And so we think about how Black culture, it thrives and how it's always thrived. And for me, my best example is the roaring towns of the 20s, because I see the resurgence of that right now when we think about entities like Black Dot, Africatown. You know, you got so many different entities out here that are like, we are here for y'all and we do this work on behalf of our community. And the SBA was never going to really give me that experience, right?
No,
and I think for me, even as I was a business owner myself, I thought, okay, this is cool. But every workshop that I attended, trying to figure out government contracts, working with the federal agencies, working with state agencies, I was the only Black business owner there. Did you have similar experiences?
Oh, definitely. In an SBA class, I went to an SBA class and I was the only Black business owner. But I mean, as a Black person, period, I'm used to that. My mother always taught me from a young age, no matter where you are, no matter what room you walk into, you own that room. You act as if you belong there because you do. So I try not to let that bother me, but I also look at it as an honor. Like if I'm the only Black person in a room or in a meeting, well, then I'm representing my community. I'm representing my culture in that moment.
So true. I think that that's just evident of how a lot of us have had to just kind of navigate societal wolves, right? I mean, they're there, you know, these environments are very much their own, right? They got their own ways of doing things. But I agree with you, because I know that for our businesses that are like, you know what, you got an idea out there, you're trying to figure out how to get started. There's so many amazing community resources that are going to embrace you with love. And, you know, the idea is that you don't have to succumb to some of those barriers that may be up there, because they intentionally sometimes make people say, I don't know if I want to do this, right?
They do.
And so having these community approaches, I think, is really key. Well, you know what, Tara, I mean, you've been just killing it out here. Thank you again for being with us today. Tell us one more time right there in that camera how folks can get connected to the Complete Driving Experience.
Complete Driving Experience. We are located in Hilltop, Tacoma, inside the Rise Center, 2136 Martin Luther King Jr. Way. You can also catch us on CompleteDrivingEXP.com. Our phone number is 253-387-7733.
Ah, there we go.
Thank you.
Get your students enrolled. And if you're an adult, I mean, as Tara said here today, really from some real wraparound services around driving by really offering the Complete Driving Experience. So if you're an adult who needs to get recertified, an elder who's trying to get retrained, they are doing it all there at the Complete Driving Experience. And shout out to all of our business owners out here who are seeing the voids and filling the needs. You guys, I'll be ending the show right after this short break. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching the Morning Update Show. Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. It's been a great show indeed. We're going to be ending the show right now on this Wednesday, but I just wanted to say, as always, man, clearly Tara DuBois has found herself as a part of an amazing solution around driving instruction. And, we love to be able to inspire you guys out there to see yourself as a part of the solution. It's clear that there's many different elements in our society that need new, innovative approaches to things that are just as simple as driving instruction. that should be a key indicator for all of you out there that there is an opportunity for you to see yourself as a part of the solution. So I encourage you to please get out there, whether you have an idea, you have a question about how something is being done, you experience something and it wasn't the greatest experience and you want to bring a different approach to that, please see yourself as a part of the amazing solutions. And as my co-host with the most, Big O, would say, until tomorrow, we want what? That's thank you. We actually do want to big up that Seattle Theater Group is bringing Dr. Anita Hill to the Moore Theater. You guys can check out the tickets by going to Seattle Theater Group. And you know what? We keep talking about how amazing that is going to be. If you guys are, trying to get some information, understand her story more, which is such a revolutionary story, honestly, putting herself out there on the front lines at a time where it was not known to do so. There was no Me Too movement to kind of back her up. She was out there really on her own, sharing her story. So if you guys are looking to get those tickets, make sure you guys check out the Moore Theater and Seattle Theater Group. Thank you for that reminder, Cuddy, as always. And that leaves us to this end today. As Omari would say, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.